As smoke billowed from the ventilation hole, the final stage of a daring deception began. After a tense silence, the guards confirmed the death and prepared to dispose of the body by casting it into the depths of the ocean. They wrapped the corpse in a heavy shroud, but before completing their grim task, they decided to stop for one last meal. They had no idea that through a hidden crack in the wall, a pair of eyes was watching their every move, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The moment the guards vanished, the watcher broke through the wall and entered his cellmate's room. Looking down at the friend he had shared a life with for 8 long years, a surge of grief hit him, followed immediately by a spark of reckless inspiration. He whispered a final prayer, ripped open the burial shroud, and dragged his friend's lifeless body back to his own cell. In a macabre act of transformation, he cut his own hair and painstakingly attached it to the corpse to mimic his own appearance. After securing the body, he returned to the old man's cell, retrieved a secret treasure map hidden deep within the stone walls, and climbed inside the burial bag himself, becoming the dead man. When the guards returned, they noticed the weight felt different, but they didn't stop to investigate. They shackled a heavy iron ball to the bag's feet, tied the ropes tight, and hurled the corpse into the black abyss of the sea. As a man sank into the freezing depths, he used a concealed knife to slash through the sack and fight his way out. He managed to unshackle the iron weight and, with his lungs screaming for air, swam frantically toward the faint light shimmering on the surface. Back at the prison, the deception was finally uncovered. When a guard arrived with food, he found the inmate unresponsive and went in to investigate, only to find the body of the old man they thought they had buried at sea. The staff tore away the bedding and discovered a hidden tunnel behind the stones. Meanwhile, the escaped man reached the shore. To avoid detection, he broke into a farmer's hut and shed the prison rags he had worn for over a decade. When he finally caught a glimpse of himself in a mirror, he was struck silent by the ghost staring back at him. 14 years of brutal imprisonment had changed his face and his spirit beyond recognition. Before leaving, he stole a pair of scissors to trim his hair and regain some semblance of the handsome man he once was. He traveled back to his childhood village, only to be met with the devastating news that his father had passed away. According to the local priest, his father had died of a broken heart after being told his son was dead. But the ultimate insult came when he visited the cemetery. There, right next to his father's grave, was a headstone bearing his own name, marked with the exact year he was imprisoned. His captors had never intended for him to return. Seeking out his old flame, he discovered she had married someone else shortly after his arrest and was now living in Paris. Driven by a thirst for answers, he went to the home of his former rival, only to uncover a shocking truth. The man who had married his woman was the very same person who had framed him and sent him to rot in prison. With a treasure map in his hand and fire in his heart, he began the long-awaited plan for a cold, calculated revenge.